So I forgot to record, but I'm working on this. I'm working on the U.S. Army locomotive now. Still have no idea what class it is, but it's now in pieces. Also, doing some digging on Google, I found out that this is AHM. I own an AHM locomotive. Never in my life did I think I'd own one of these. And it's definitely not in the best condition. As you can see, whatever this stuff is also all over the body in various places. It's still got its livery and everything. It's got a scuff mark or something right there and there. But while I was doing digging about this engine, not only is it AHM, it's a whole train set. There was this engine, and then a whole rake of cars. All military base stuff. One of the cars that was supposed to come with was supposed to be a railgun. This had a railgun at one point. Where the rest of the set is, I have no clue. I also don't have any of the original couplings, so I'm having to sit here and try and find some way to put my own couplings in here. I put a knuckle on here. The knuckle does a little better than a standard horn hook. It is still definitely perfect. The coupling droops a little bit. My plan is to take this broken horn hook piece, slide it in here somehow, and hopefully it will raise either the knuckle or a horn hook that I put in here. A horn hook, Hoping to get this thing running. Either replace that with a horn hook or leave it as a knuckle. Definitely find a way to clean up everything. I want to get this stuff off of this. I don't know what this is. I just want it gone. I've taken care of this truck since there's no piece here. It's somewhere. Yeah, it should be right there. It's not at the moment. So I'm going to disassemble this truck, take out the linkage, try to drop the truck out, and not dismantle any of the wires, because this thing is, it's a something, all right. It's a something. This was a nightmare to sit here and take all apart. You had the cover for the motor, for the truck. You had this here, which held the light bulb in. The light bulb isn't even screwed or anything. It just sits in this with that attached around it, so it has complete connection. This has been a hefty work since, you could probably tell because the table is an absolute mess. This is a nightmare. Got parts everywhere. Parts I can't even use. Gears. Steam locomotive parts. Other parts of other things. I have yet to figure out what this goes to. Eventually I will. A wheel that goes to the truck over there. I don't need any of this anymore, so I'm gonna just dump everything back in there. But trying to repair it, get it put back together. Can't use these. Those these little holes aren't big enough. It's like an Athearn almost. At least for the coupling box, it's like an Athearn almost. Uses tiny little pegs that hold on to things. But because the way it's designed, I can't stick just these straight in there. They have to be done specially. Now I'm gonna get this front truck disassembled, and I'll try to remember to hit the record button. I'll try to remember. If I don't, well then absolutely just whatever. Okay. Get that disassembled. And service everything. Okay, so I got it disassembled, and I had an unfortunate accident trying to disassembling it. I didn't think I would need to. I thought I would need a screwdriver to sit here and pry the tab off, but that led to the truck breaking. Apparently, all you need to do is just take your finger, grab it, and pull it. Still works and it's still usable, so it's not completely broken, but it is dirty. The truck's dirty. The wheels, they're also pretty dirty. Definitely gonna need a cleaning. I'm also trying to be very careful not to break the handrails because they are very broken. One side of the engine is completely missing its handrails. So I'm trying to be very, very careful not to disturb these handrails, since back here they're completely broken. Surprisingly, when I go looking through these aren't missing, or not, they're not cracked, they're not dirty, truthfully, and they're not covered in hair, which is very common for to gather around the axles. Since this was taken care of to a point, which is good. Don't worry about the noises in the background. That's my dad upstairs. Ugh. Filthy. Oh, look at that. I got a Q-tip. I'll use that. Get some rubbing alcohol. Try to... Okay, then. Is he using a grinder? Probably is. Okay. Oh, that doesn't look good. There's a slight green color to this. There's a slight green color to it. Oxidization. Maybe, most likely. Yeah, definitely oxidized. I can see it. Oh, good lord, that's gross. It definitely oxidized. Can't really see it, but there's a little bit of discoloration right there, and a little bit down there. I'm gonna go fetch rubbing alcohol and try to clean up that contact. Got a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol, 50%, and took it to that copper cleaner's end. Definitely definitely needed it. And it was definitely necessary. Surprising the wheels are all good. which I was not expecting. Like, they're all fine. I checked them over, so they're all good. So what I'm gonna do is have a peek on the inside of this. It doesn't look that bad. I see a little bit of something just hanging in there. A strand of hair. But it doesn't look that bad. So what I'm going to do now is take this, take a toothpick I have over here, get some lube on this, put it on the gear, put those in there, and then manually spin the wheels. Then afterwards, I'm going to reassemble it all and then run it. See what happens. See if it explodes or not. Hopefully it doesn't. maybe we'll see something different other than just what I normally see, which is I haven't really seen much of anything happen. Just I've smelt some things as it runs. And those things would be it slightly burning, which comes from the motor directly. Which does cause for major alarms. But I can't really do much about that. Just need a little bit, not too much. Work that's way through what's ever in here, since I haven't been able to get access to the worm drive and to whatever's up in here. I haven't been able to get access to, so open that. There's no hair there. What I just did there will be all good. Hopefully this will be fine. If it ain't fine, then I'll definitely know. Come back in, give it some more maintenance, see what I can and can't do. I try to give them all when it comes to working on these engines. I'm no Sam's trains, I'm no SMT mainline, I'm no classic model trains, so I do what I can. I'm not them, so I can't do exactly what they do. I just work with what I got, and hopefully it will get the job done. Pass it a few times this way. that wheel back in. Pass a few times this way. Put it back in. Take a toothpick. Grab that excess gear or excess lube. Oh, well, I picked out something. Picked out a little bit of something. Let's get rid of it. Okay, so done what I can. Because this is only the front of the engine, I'm not going to do too much of anything. I'm not going to put in the coupling or anything. I just want to do it at the back. Also I found, I think this is it. Yeah. One of these is the MTH original coupling, and the other one is the standard horn hook that we get today. There's actually not too much of a difference between the two. This is the MTH, this one is the standard horn hook. The hole in the MTH is slightly smaller than the one here. So, yeah, they're definitely something a little strange, but hopefully I can use one of these and put it in this back end, so everything will be level. I just want to do it to one of the ends because it's a lot easier than trying to do it to both ends. At some point, both ends will have a coupling. Just at the very moment, I just want to do the rear. Okay, so that's back. That's put back. I'll take this. Okay, this might be a little hard to do, but I'm gonna get everything put back together, and then it'll continue from there. Okay, so I got that reassembled, but I didn't put the link back in, because then I remembered this has to come out. Which it's... oh, well, there it goes. Motor's now free. And there's only one way to remove everything to get it actually out, and that's by resliding these. Originally, when I went to do this the first time, that's not just the plate that's holding the wires to it. That's also the cover for the springs. You gotta very, very gently pull that out. If you do not, your spring is gonna go flying. So what I'm going to do is be very, very careful. Slide this, at least try to. Shit. Okay, that now it's stuck. And now it doesn't want to come out. Oh, why are you not wanting to come off now? Oh, it slightly moved. don't want to tug on the wires truthfully. That's tight. See the spring. So now I got to be super duper careful not to sit here and make the spring fling straight out. As if I do, I'm more than likely never going to see that spring ever again. I'd rather that not happen. I'd rather have this rare engine up and running once more. Bring this all the way out here. Grab the plate and pretty long and healthy spring. Not bad. It's long and healthy. Turn upside down. Okay, the brush doesn't want to come out, so... Ooh, this side's oxidized a little bit. Try and get this separate. Hopefully that didn't break. It doesn't seem to have broke. Which is good. Slowly. Okay. Got this out to a point where I should, yes. Got the spring. There. Hello there, little brush. Come on. Got to use the tweezers in order to get it. There. It's a full-on cube. It's square instead of round. That's actually very... Okay, let me just drop straight out. The springs are cubes instead of being cylinders. That's a little new. Put that there. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a pain to take apart. Take that off too, I guess. Okay, gotta go get pliers, which are down here. Hopefully I can do this. I might not need the pliers. Might be able to just use a flathead to pry these tabs up. Okay, that one's too big. There we go. Swing one tab. Here's the second tab. I'm gonna have to get that off. I'm gonna just here and do this. That's now off. Okay, so we might need the pliers in order to... No, didn't work. Like I thought. Okay, try the tweezers again. Okay, there we go. Got that end out. Yeah, we gotta do the other side. Take that piece out too. Oh, this might be a little... Oh. Definitely don't want to lose the washer. That would be very bad. Ow. Okay, this is proving to be a little bit of a pain. Smaller flathead. Smallest flathead I truthfully have. And these are not wanting to come up. And of course it has to be the side where the frickin' where the commutator is. Also realized no, it wasn't. Okay, never mind. It's not wanting to come out. These tabs are like firmly stuck. And they're wedged to a point where I cannot get to them. I hate the motors like this. These kind of motors are absolutely terrible. The Athearn motors are much better. I like those motors much better. They're easier to work on. I also need the magnets out. Oh, good lord. Finally, it's all apart. After I sat here and cut myself, let's see, 3 times. And I'm starting to bleed out of 2 of the 3 spots. But it's not that bad, so I'm not going to entirely worry about it. Get that pushed out here. It's just minor bleeding. It'll be fine. I just hope they don't get infected. That's the only issue now. So, now the plan is to clean the gaps on the commutator with... Where is it? I think it's this toothpick. Definitely got something coming out there. Gaps are also pretty tiny. So these are this definitely could have used a cleaning a while ago. It's also only a 3-pole. But before I even ran this, and before I even started maintenance in this engine, I ran it and got a little bit of gusto for a 3-pole. Low speed, I didn't check, but still for the moment. I just don't have a way of cleaning the commutator off. I have a way of cleaning it out, just not off. Okay, so hopefully after that I can maybe put this back together. After I clean off the contacts. Again, I'll just use a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Not too much, but just a little bit. Same Q-tip, just using the opposite side. If you guys got any ways of cleaning a commutator, let me know. I know one way is with a fiberglass pencil, but I don't got one of those. Yeah, they're like $8 on Amazon, but I don't got a way of getting money or purchasing things online. So that's out of the question. The only thing left to do is to reassemble the motor, which apparently has its own specific way you do, which is a little helpful. Take the washer, slide it over, take this end. Which way did it go? Okay. Take this washer, trying not to drop it. Place it over this end, and let it slide down. Every time for this end, for this part. Ugh. These tiny, tiny little tabs. What was that? Okay, there it goes. Something fell into the motor. I think it's like a strand of paper. It came off the pliers for some reason. Oh, come on. If I rotate it this way. Now it still doesn't want to go on. There. Okay. Finally. Jeez. Now it's time to push the pins down so everything is firmly secured. Okay. So the motor's all put back together, so the only thing left to do is take the brushes and the springs and load them back up. Again, I'm sorry that you guys can't see exactly what I'm doing. I don't have a workbench or anything to truthfully do this on, which if I did would be very much would be very useful, but I don't got one, so you guys can't truthfully see what I do. But just trust me when I say I'm doing my best to sit here and work on these things. Also, the main reason why I go quiet is to try and sit here and focus. Oh, that's not good. That ain't gonna go back together. There, okay. So that's now on. Now I need these. Take this brush. Before I put this brush in, but see this, like I said, it's a square. It's, instead of being round, it's square. I've never seen that before. Yes, AHM wanted to do something a little different. Instead of doing round, they went for squared. And I lost it. There it is. Let's try it this way. This one to go in. There, finally. Okay, that's in. Here's the spring. Okay, here, slide the motor back into its locking area. Take this, put this in here. Oh, oh, that hurt. And now it's gonna just put this on. Jeez. I cannot say how. I can't. Ugh. These are really hard to put together. These little tabs are very difficult to sit here and put on. I also just realized I didn't put the links back on before attaching the motor, but it's already too late. I've already made it this far, so I'll just put the motor back in and then go from there. I'm not using that, so that over there. Oh my goodness, I hate this. Alrighty then. Took me about 10, 15 minutes, but got this all back together. There are some issues still with this. This little clamp that holds the truck in place is cracked and split up here in the top. Still holds it, just now bends out of place. And the motor is also having its own issues. This end is not going to stay shut. Little pins that hold it down are not wanting to hold it in place correctly, so it's opening up, but hopefully this back here will do something about that, hold it in place or something, since it is a motor mount of some sort. Got this coach over here to see if this will connect. It's not wanting to. Oh, well. Gotta have it fully on the track. Okay, so that's a bit of an issue. It doesn't. No. Okay. So this truck isn't fully put back together, apparently. But so far, everything's sitting even, so let's try that again. It couples. It works, but see what I mean by it's supposed to sit even. That's why I want to do one of those things to make sure it stays up. But for the moment of truth, let's see if my efforts paid off and it's gonna turn on. That's what I'm mostly worried about, is will it move? Hopefully it will. Well, I heard it. Just okay. I see it over there. Of course, it derailed, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I didn't reassemble the truck correctly. But at least I didn't do anything completely wrong. At least I didn't put it back together incorrectly to the point it doesn't work anymore. To me, that's all that matters. Okay, there we go. Truck's back on correctly this time. Now it sits on it evenly. And actually pretty smooth. Okay. Bring it forwards. It's definitely struggling to move, but that's also because it doesn't have its weight, which is a very strange weight, and the coupling got caught. Also, on my last knuckle couplers, I'm ringing on knuckles. I'm starting to only have horn hooks left. Put the coach down here. angle bar. Okay. So that's all, got it all put right together. Light and everything works. Now the way the shell works is a little strange. Probably one of the strangest shells I've ever had to put on. Now these wires aren't exactly agreeing with what I've done. I broke my sign. I'll read about the sign later. Now it's time to reassemble it. Camera fell over. Knocked over a tree. I'm not recording this video on a phone or a tiny camera. This is on a tablet. So, it's a little bit of a larger screen for me, a little bit of a larger device. But at least it works. I'm hoping that doesn't cause any issues. That's going to be neat. So, oh, okay. Push the truck back up. So the way that the show works is a little strange. Get that up slightly so that I can slide on in. Let's see on this side. Okay. So the way the show works, the way you get it on and off, is by the cab tabs. The cab has its own little tabs that lock the shell down. So now, the shell isn't removable. Then you also got your two screws that you also got to add on, along with your diesel fuel container, which is just decorational, and this massive weight. Like, this thing's heavy. I'm pretty sure this is made of the same thing that Athearn makes their locomotive weights out of. So if I crack this engine open, Pennsylvania diesel, F7A unit, I believe. This right here. I think this is what that is. I think that's what these two items are. They might be the same material. Maybe not, because this feels a little lighter. Yeah. This is heavier than this. So that's actually made of something. This is something else than whatever this is. Okay, that's good to know, I guess. Not sure what that weight is made of, but pretty damn heavy. So take weight. Probably should just leave it in there. Doesn't matter which side it goes on. I believe there's supposed to be two, but I only have the one. So what I'm gonna do is take this. This is able to slide, so it locks in place. Only two of the locks on here, which are on the back of the shell, are still intact, so it isn't entirely locked down on it, but for the most part it works. Okay, I just have to hold it. Put that off to the side. That's in the wrong spot. That's the bit I need. This thing takes flatheads. I mean, you probably could replace it with Phillips, but I recommend not, unless you want to try and rethread the whole thing. It only takes 2 screws, just through the bottom. Just like that, just those 2 screws, and then it's back together. One thing I also should have mentioned is that you're only getting 4 wheels per pickup on this locomotive. These 4 wheels and these 4 wheels pick up power. Well, this one and that one do nothing. They don't pick up power, they just spin freely. But hey, I'm not complaining. It's now fully back together. I wish I had some horns for this, but I don't. Set it up here on the track and then connect it to the cars that I already have on here and take it for a spin. It's all set up on the track with a little load of freight cars and now I'm running. Headlights nice and bright. I mean, this looks cool and all, but I just thought about something. Just thought about something else I could throw behind this engine, other than just some random freight cars. In my collection, end up getting a few coaches that I believe might have something to do with the military. Maybe not, but they fit the color scheme. So I'll get those all disconnected, and I'll throw those coaches behind it to see how that looks, since they got knuckle couplers too. Okay, so it doesn't want to stay together. The coupling height on this is a tad bit taller, so I might have to make some adjustments to make sure that stays. Okay, I'll get that adjusted and return again. Okay, so I couldn't adjust that. The space in there is a little too small to fit what I was trying to fit, so I just set up the yellow coach to go with the rest of the consist. Hopefully that'll work, and hopefully it will run and not just uncouple directly. It appears to be holding up pretty well. Yeah, it's working. So it looks like I'll have to find freight cars to hook up to this engine so it will run well with them. I can definitely say that this was a success. This was a success in operation in restoring this engine to a much better working order. By now it would give off like a burning smell, and it's not. So I'm happy. That's going to be it for this video. I'm happy to have one of my mother's engines up and running. That thing's still gonna be a pain in my ass. Still gonna be a pain to work on. Caught myself there. Okay. That's gonna be a pain to work on. If you haven't watched the video of me trying to restore this thing, it's a nightmare. This thing was a absolute nightmare. It's a pancake drive, and it's just, oh, parts are missing, parts are breaking. It's just a nightmare. This thing, much better. Still a little bit of a pain, I will say that, but did not give me as much trouble as that did. And at least it's the Army locomotive up and running. I can't tell you how many Santa Fe engines I have. And I just sold off 3 locomotives. 4? 3, 4? Yeah, I sold off a few of the engines in my collection. 2 of them were, yeah. Sold off 4 engines, 2 Santa Fe's, and 2 Union Pacifics. I love these for how shiny they are. I love these because they shine. So at the moment, this is a dummy engine which is not liking curves. It refuses to go through them mostly. And now I have that thing. My first U.S. Army locomotive. Hopefully at some point I will get the rest of the consist. Since all I have is a locomotive, I'll get... The main thing I want for this is its railgun. That's the main thing I want, is the railgun. But it would be nice to have everything. Okay, that's it for today's video. Had fun restoring this engine. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me suffer in restoring this. I'll catch you guys in either the next restoration video, model train running video, or real life train video. You guys take care. I'll see you guys in the next one.